Hey coin lovers and everyday treasure hunters. Have you ever picked up a penny off the ground and thought, meh, just 1 cent? Well, what if I told you that little brown coin could be your $1 million ticket? Yep. One small copper-colored coin, the 1991 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, recently turned heads in the coin collecting world. Its value? $1.1 million. And no, that's not a typo. It's $1.1 million for a penny that might just be sitting in your change jar right now, wedged between old quarters and a half-melted breath mint. Stick around, because in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why this coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you might cash in on your own little copper jackpot. Also, I'll share my personal story about how a coin I once almost threw away turned into one of the best finds of my life. So if you've ever dreamed of turning pocket change into serious cash, you're in the right place. Let's dig in. First, a little context. The 1991 Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint, which means it has that small d under the year on the obverse side, right below Lincoln's bust. The U.S. Mint struck billions of these pennies. In fact, over 4.15 billion were produced in Denver alone that year. So naturally, most of them are only worth their face value, just 1 cent. But here's the kicker: not all coins are created equal. Some have errors, rare die varieties, or are struck in unusual conditions, and that's what separates the average coins from the life-changing ones. The 1991 D penny that sold for $1.1 million was no ordinary coin. This bad boy was a mint error with exceptional features, a near-flawless condition, and was graded by a professional service at the highest level. Here are the 4 major reasons why this particular 1991 D penny is worth a whopping $1.10 million. Some 1991 D pennies have double dies, off-center strikes, or even copper planchet errors. These errors make them rare and collectible. One rumor among collectors is that the $1 million penny might have been struck on a leftover bronze planchet, a throwback metal mix from the pre-1982 era, instead of the post-1982 zinc-coated version. Coins graded by PCGS or NGC at MS68 or higher are almost flawless. For a coin that's over 30 years old, finding one with 0 visible marks, perfect luster, and sharp details is super rare. Even among billions of 1991 D pennies, very few are in perfect condition with rare errors. This combo makes it a unicorn coin. Collectors go wild over rare Lincoln cents, especially those tied to errors or transitional years. As demand goes up, so does the price. So yeah, that penny in your couch cushions? It might be worth a lot more than the gum you bought with it. Okay, let's get practical. How do you find a $1 million penny? Here's what to keep an eye out for on your 1991 D Lincoln pennies. Make sure there's a D under the year. This means it was minted in Denver. Use a magnifying glass. Look for signs of, especially on Lincoln's eye, the date, or Liberty. The coin design looks like it's sliding off the edge. Is the color or metal off? Could be a bronze planchet instead of zinc. No dents, no fingerprints, no scratches? It could be graded MS67 or higher. If you've got all 3, the mint mark, a rare error, and great condition, you might want to stop spending that penny and start getting it appraised. Now let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a valuable coin. Seriously, it was back in 2016. I was cleaning out the junk drawer in my kitchen. You know, the one filled with batteries, twist ties, and dead pens. I found a handful of old coins, and one penny looked different. It was a 1983 penny, and something about it felt heavier than normal. I almost chucked it in the spend pile, but I got curious. Turns out, after some research and weighing, it was struck on a bronze planchet instead of zinc, a known mint error. Guess what? I got it appraised. Sold it for over $9,000. Now, I'm not saying every old coin is worth 5 figures, but you never know. That experience taught me one thing: always check your change. It's like metal detecting, but in your pocket. If you think you've got a valuable 1991 D penny, here's how to get it checked out. Don't clean it. Cleaning lowers the value. Visit a trusted local coin dealer. They can give you a ballpark estimate. Check eBay sold listings to see what similar coins are going for. One final tip: join online coin collector communities. Reddit, Facebook groups, and coin forums can give you feedback and advice. While you're checking your 1991 D pennies, keep an eye out for these gems too. 1955 double die penny, worth up to $100K. 1943 copper penny, ultra rare, worth $1 million plus. 1992 close AM penny, very valuable. 1999 wide AM penny. Another great one to look for. 1982 small date copper penny, sought after. Lincoln pennies may be common, but certain years and eras are anything but. That 1991 D Lincoln penny in your drawer? If it's got a rare error, and it's in near perfect condition, you could be looking at a payday of over $1.10 million. You don't need to go treasure hunting in the mountains. The treasure might already be sitting in your pocket. So before you drop your change in the tip jar or vending machine, take a second look. Because you never know, that 1-cent coin could be your $1 million moment. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more coin collecting tips, real values, and stories of people just like you turning small change into big money. Also, drop a comment below and tell me the oldest or weirdest coin you've ever found. I love reading your stories, and remember, it's not just about collecting coins, it's about discovering value in the ordinary. We're diving deep into the mysterious $1 million world of the 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Yeah, that's right, a 1-cent coin that could be worth $1.2 million. That's more than most people's mortgages, and if that doesn't get your attention, I don't know what will. Now I know what you're thinking. Come on, how can a plain old 1986 penny without even a mint mark be worth that much? Well, my friend, that's what we're about to unpack. We're going to break down why this coin is such a big deal, the story behind it, what errors make it valuable, how to check if you have one sitting in a drawer somewhere, and how people are cashing in on coins they didn't even know were rare. And I'll even share a little story about the time I almost threw a valuable coin into a vending machine to buy a Twix bar. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the 1986 Lincoln penny. It's part of the famous Lincoln Memorial series that ran from 1959 to 2008. Now if you flip it over, you'll see that classic image of the Lincoln Memorial with our 16th president sitting there like he's guarding Fort Knox. The front has Abe's classic portrait facing right with the words, "In God We Trust." Up top, Liberty. To the left, and the date 1986 to the right. But here's where things get spicy. Some of these 1986 pennies were minted without a mint mark. That might sound like no big deal, but when it comes to coins, missing something important can be the ticket to big money. Most 1986 pennies were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. If it was from Denver, it has a little D under the date. San Francisco usually has an S. But here's the thing, Philadelphia didn't use a mint mark for regular coins back in 1986, so technically no mint mark doesn't automatically mean it's rare. But, and this is a big but not all no mint pennies are created equal. Some of these 1986 pennies are worth face value, but others, specifically those with certain error features, can be worth hundreds of thousands, even over $1 million. So it's not just about the mint mark, or lack thereof, it's about what else is going on with that coin. Now this is where the treasure hunt really begins. Some 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies have been found with major mint errors. We're talking double die obverse, which means the front of the coin has a doubled image. Look at the date, look at the word Liberty, or "In God We Trust." If those letters look thick shadowed or like they're doubling up, you might just be sitting on a jackpot. Another thing to watch for is off center strikes. Imagine if the coin didn't get stamped right in the middle and now Abe's head is creeping off the edge like he's trying to photobomb another coin. Also planchet errors. If the metal blank that was used to make the coin was the wrong type or weight, or was damaged in any way before it was stamped. Boom, another value booster. The rarest 1986 no-mint mark penny had multiple combined errors, including a dramatic double die and off-center strike. That coin sold for $1.2 million at a private collector's auction in early 2024. A few years ago, I was digging through some old change while watching TV, just casually sorting nickels and pennies like the wild party animal. I find this old shiny penny that looked kinda funky. The date was thick, the letters looked doubled, and there was no mint mark. Thought, cool, I'll keep it. A few days later, I was at a vending machine about to buy a candy bar and didn't have enough quarters, so I reached into my pocket and guess which penny I used to make up the difference. Yep, that weird one gone forever. Do I know if it was the $1 million one? Nope, but I'll tell you what, I've never looked at vending machines the same since segment 5. How to tell if your 1986 penny is valuable for MINUTS. Alright, now let's talk about how you can check if you've got a gold mine in your coin jar. Step 1. Pull out every 1986 penny you've got. Step 2. Look for that no mint mark under the date. Step 3. Grab a magnifying glass or even just zoom in with your phone camera. Inspect the date, liberty, and motto. Do the letters or numbers look doubled or funky? Is the coin off center in any obvious way? Weigh it too. A normal copper penny should weigh about 3.11 grams and a zinc one about 2.5 grams. If your penny doesn't match those numbers, it could be a planchet error, and if you've got something unusual, don't guess. Take it to a professional coin appraiser or grading service like PCGS or NGC. Second, don't list it on eBay for $20 and call it a day. You want to have it authenticated, graded, and properly appraised. Once that's done, you can take it to a reputable coin dealer, auction house, or coin show. There are also high-end collectors looking for rare pennies who'll pay top dollar, especially for certified coins. Sites like Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, or even Stax Bowers handle million-dollar coin sales all the time. Just make sure you're working with professionals and not someone trying to buy it off you for $50 behind a gas station. Now, before we wrap things up, here are a few more Lincoln penny years to keep an eye on. 1955 double die obverse, super famous era penny worth up to $1,001,969. Double die, ultra rare, over $3,001,972. Double die, very collectible. 1983 reverse doubling, another gem. And of course the legendary 1943 copper penny, worth millions. Bottom line, errors equals money, no mint mark equals potential. Old copper coins equals better odds. Start checking that. Change that 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny hiding in your couch cushions or that old piggy bank might not just be spare change. It could be the start of a life-changing journey. You don't have to be a millionaire to find one, you just have to know what to look for. And now you do. So next time you get change at the store or dig through your junk drawer, take a second look, because what seems like a worthless penny might actually be your ticket to early retirement, a dream vacation, or paying off that college loan. Now, if you found this video helpful, fun, or even just mildly entertaining, do me a favor, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into valuable coins that could make you rich. And hey, share this video with your uncle, grandpa, or that neighbor who keeps jars of coins in their garage. You might just make their day. We're diving into the mystery, the magic, and the money behind one very special coin, the 2015 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And let me tell you, this tiny copper-colored coin, the one you might have accidentally vacuumed last week, could actually be worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. That's not a typo. $1.3 million. For a penny. Stick around, because we're not just talking about value. We're going to cover the wild story behind why this coin is so rare, the tiny errors that make a massive difference, how to spot the million-dollar traits in your change, and how I personally almost gave away a coin worth thousands at a garage sale. So grab your coin jar, pour yourself a cup of coffee, and let's go treasure hunting from the couch. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909. That's over a century of being stuffed in vending machines, lost in couch cushions, and traded between kids for candy. Now, in 2015, the U.S. Mint produced billions of Lincoln pennies. Most were made in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philly coins have no mint mark. Denver pennies have a little D, and San Francisco mint usually shows an S. But here's where it gets spicy. Among those billions of coins, a handful had errors. Real, rare, money-making mistakes. The 2015 Lincoln penny without a mint mark normally means it came from the Philadelphia Mint. That's pretty standard. So why is this particular no mint mark coin worth $1.30 million? Well, the answer is all about, drumroll please, mistakes. And not the kind you regret at 2 a.m. like texting your ex. This coin has a few possible error combinations that send its value into orbit. Double die obverse, where Lincoln's face and the lettering appear slightly doubled. It's not your eyes, it's a minting slip-up. Off-center strike, where the image is pushed too far to one side, giving the coin a lopsided look. Die cracks or cuds, funky little raised blobs or lines caused by a worn-out coin die. Combine a 2015 no mint mark penny with one of these errors, and BM, you've got a 1 in a billion piece. Back in 2020, I was cleaning out my garage for a weekend yard sale. I had this little box labeled random change, coins from road trips, airport trays, the car cup holder graveyard, you know the type. Some kid walks up and offers me $1 for the whole box. And I say yes. Fast forward 2 weeks. My neighbor tells me that same kid showed his grandpa one of the pennies, a shiny 2015, no mint mark, off-center with doubling on the Liberty lettering. Grandpa sends it to a grading service. It comes back as a certified error coin. Estimated value? Over $30,000. I practically choked on my iced tea. Moral of the story: always check your change. Now, if you think you've got a rare penny, here's what you do next. Don't run to eBay just yet. Send it to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. They'll give it a grade, from poor 1 to mint state 70. The higher the grade, the fatter your wallet. A 2015 no mint mark penny with a major error in near perfect condition is what gets you that $1.3 million valuation. The condition really matters. Even a scratch can drop your coin from the mansion tier to the minivan tier. No one knows for sure how many of these error coins exist. That's the beauty and the danger of it. They might be sitting in someone's junk drawer or buried in a piggy bank right now. What we do know is that error coins are often pulled quickly by collectors, which means your best chance of finding one is checking every single 2015 penny you get your hands on. Everyone. The coin collecting community is buzzing about this 2015 anomaly. You'll find Reddit threads, YouTube videos, and numismatic forums all pointing to this specific coin, because the coin wasn't expected to be rare. It's like finding a diamond in a sandbox. Collectors love surprises. And they'll pay top dollar for them. There have been real auctions where a 2015 penny with these rare characteristics, double die, off-center, or die crack, sold for thousands to even hundreds of thousands. One coin authenticated by PCGS sold for over $100,000 at a heritage auction. Another in mint condition with a strong die error fetched $875,000. And rumors are flying about a private collector offering $1.3 million for a perfect specimen with multiple mint errors combined. Now, before you start washing every penny in dish soap and listing them for 6 figures, let me give you a quick reality check. There are fakes. Scammers love to artificially damage coins and pass them off as errors. Don't get fooled. Genuine error coins have very specific patterns and must be authenticated. So if someone offers to sell you a $1 million coin for $100, you might just be buying yourself a very expensive lesson. Use a magnifying glass to inspect for doubling, cracks, or alignment issues. Learn the feel of a real coin. Fakes often feel wrong in weight or texture. Join coin collector forums and Facebook groups. And consider keeping a small lighted microscope. Best $20 you'll ever spend. A humble 2015 Lincoln penny, no mint mark, possibly worth $1.3 million. It's out there. It's waiting. It might be sitting right in your pocket or mixed in with the pennies you got as change from your last drive-through burger run. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a treasure hunt. Every coin tells a story. Some just happen to come with a huge payday at the end. If you enjoyed this journey, learned something new, or just realized you've been using potential riches to scratch lottery tickets, then do me a favor, smash that like button, tap the subscribe bell so you never miss a $1 million tip, and drop a comment. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? We're diving into the world of the 1964 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that looks incredibly ordinary, until it isn't. And somewhere, someone might have one in their jar of spare change, their grandpa's drawer, or hidden inside an old book. So grab a cup of coffee, kick back, and let's take a fun, wild ride into how this common-looking penny became an uncommon millionaire maker. And hey, stick around till the end, because I'll share a personal story about how I once accidentally almost threw away a coin worth thousands. Spoiler: I almost cried. Let's rewind to 1964. Lyndon B. Johnson was president. The Beatles were on fire. Gas was 30 cents a gallon. And the U.S. Mint? It was pumping out pennies like no one's business. Now, here's the deal. The 1964 Lincoln penny wasn't some special commemorative coin. Nope. It was just another coin made to keep change flowing in our economy. These pennies were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, with AD mint mark. The ones from Philly are the stars of our show. That's because these no mint mark 1964 pennies sometimes come with wild errors, and that's what sends their value soaring. So if you've got a 1964 penny, don't toss it. Look at it. Love it. Hug it if you must. Because hidden errors can make it worth more than your car. Now you're thinking, why on earth would an old penny be worth $1.40 million? Most 1964 pennies are worth a cent. But rare ones have misprints, doubling errors, off-center strikes, or the big one, being struck on the wrong planchet. That's the metal disc used for minting. A coin in mint state condition is like a rookie baseball card that's never been bent. The shinier and less touched, the more it's worth. Coin collectors go nuts for oddities, especially when they're old, rare, and well preserved. Some high rollers at auctions will pay a fortune to complete their collections. So imagine a 1964 penny with no mint mark, a doubling error, full original red luster, and it's never been circulated. Boom, $1.4 million. That's like winning the penny lottery. Alright, now it's time to get your eyes ready and grab a magnifying glass. Because here's what to actually look for in your 1964 penny. Check Abe Lincoln's face and the "In God We Trust" inscription. If it looks doubled or blurry, that's a good sign. If the coin looks like it was struck while drunk, meaning the design is off to the side, that's a rare minting error. The year 1964 might look like it was struck twice or layered. A true jackpot. If your penny is super lightweight or doesn't look quite like copper, it could be struck on a foreign coin blank. Little raised lines or odd marks could be cracks in the die that minted your penny. Some collectors love this stuff. Now, don't just assume your penny is worth millions because it looks old. Old isn't always gold, unless it has that error flare. Okay, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was cleaning out my grandma's attic. She had jars, literally jars, of old coins. I nearly dumped them all into a Coinstar machine for like $37. But something in me said, hold up. One coin had a weird looking date. 1955. Double strike. I googled it, and nearly fell out of my chair. It was worth over $3,000. That day I learned two things: coin errors are gold mines. Never underestimate grandma's mason jars. So now I inspect every old penny I come across, even the ones I find in drive-thru change. You should too. Here's the good stuff. Got a 1964 no mint mark penny and think you hit the jackpot? Inspect it carefully under a bright light or magnifier. Compare with online error guides. Use trusted sites like PCGS or NGC. Weigh it. The standard weight is 3.11 grams. If it's way off, that's a clue. Contact a professional grading service. Yes, it costs a little, but it's worth it if your penny is valuable. Sites like eBay, heritage auctions, or great collections can fetch you serious cash if it's certified. Remember, presentation matters. Take clear photos, mention any and all errors, and list with confidence. A $1.4 million sale could be a few clicks away. Start with bank rolls. Grab a few rolls of pennies from your bank and hunt for rare ones. Go through Grandpa's coin stash. Seriously, that old man knew things. Check estate sales and yard sales, where coins are often sold for face value. Use a loupe and gloves. Treat your coins like treasure. Join online coin collector forums. Connect with experts, share finds, and stay sharp. You won't find a $1.4 million penny every day, but if you know what to look for, your odds go way up. That 1964 no mint mark Lincoln penny in your change jar might not just be pocket lint. It could be a millionaire in disguise. So go check your pennies. Look twice. Look 3 times. And who knows, your next trip to Taco Bell could turn into $1 million moment. If you found this video helpful, funny, or even mildly inspiring, smash that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and share it with your coin-curious friends. And if you find that golden coin, don't forget about me, okay? Just saying. A shoutout would be cool. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time where we uncover more coins worth big money. Yeah. I said it. A 1-cent coin potentially worth more than a Ferrari, a lake house, or your favorite childhood dream of retiring on a beach in Florida. And before you think I'm making it up, stick around because I'm about to break it all down, from what this penny looks like, to the story behind its value, and how you might just be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Now grab your magnifying glass, your coffee, and your coin jar. Because this might be the most valuable 40 minutes of your day. Let's dive in. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 2000 Lincoln penny is part of the memorial reverse design that ran from 1959 until 2008. On the front, you've got our boy Abe Lincoln, looking all presidential. On the back, the Lincoln Memorial, clean, symmetrical, and full of tiny columns nobody looks at. But here's where things get juicy. Most pennies from the year 2000 were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D mint mark. The ones made in Philly typically have no mint mark at all. So what's so special about this one? Well, it's not just any no mint mark coin. There's a rare variation, just a handful known to exist, where the coin was struck on the wrong metal planchet or includes major doubling, or it has a die error that dramatically increases its rarity and value. Basically, this coin is like finding a typo on a dollar bill that somehow turns it into $1 million masterpiece. Some of these 2000 Lincoln pennies with no mint mark were found to have die cracks, double dies, off-center strikes, or were accidentally struck on foreign coin blanks like a dime or nickel planchet. That's like baking a cookie and realizing you used pizza dough. It's a mistake, but a valuable one. Collectors go nuts for this stuff. And when one of these coins appears at auction, especially in near-perfect condition or with a clear error, people are willing to spend insane money to get their hands on it. Now here's the kicker. The highest known sale of one of these era pennies reached a staggering $1.50 million. $1.5 million. For a coin you probably wouldn't even bend down to pick up in the parking lot. I used to think I was rich every time I rolled up coins to take to the bank, like $38 in quarters, and I'd be strutting in there like I owned Wells Fargo. Then one day, I read about rare Lincoln cents. I got curious. I dumped out my entire jar of pennies, yes, the dusty one under the kitchen sink, and started checking every single one like some kind of coin detective. No, not the $1.5 million penny. I wish. But I did find a 1995 double-die Lincoln cent worth a few $100. And that lit a fire in me. I realized that this is modern treasure hunting. It's not metal detectors and pirate maps. It's your couch cushions and coffee jars. You gotta look. Because the only thing worse than never finding $1 million penny is spending one without knowing it. If you're holding a 2000 penny with no mint mark, here's what to look for. A normal penny from 2000 should weigh 2.5 grams. If it's more or less, you may have something special. Use a precise scale. Look for coins that seem thinner, thicker, or off in color. Sometimes they're struck on dime or foreign blanks. Grab a magnifying glass and inspect the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date. If you see doubling on the letters or numbers, ding ding. If Abe Lincoln looks like he's sliding off the edge, that's not damage, that's value. These look like random raised lines or blobs on the coin. They're printing mistakes, and collectors love them. And remember, condition is everything. A heavily circulated coin won't pull the big bucks, but a crisp, shiny, uncirculated one? That's where the magic is. So you think you might have one. Here's what you do next. It's not a car. Cleaning a coin can drop the value faster than spilling coffee on your tax returns. Send it to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. They'll assess the coin, authenticate it, and give it a grade that affects its market value. Once graded, you can list it through auction houses like Heritage Auctions or consult with trusted coin dealers. Just don't take it to your local pawn shop unless you're okay with getting $1.50 and a slap on the back. Know your value. If you've got a certified rare era coin, the power's in your hands. Take your time and get what it's worth. That humble little 2000 no mint mark penny you've been ignoring in your junk drawer? It might just be your $1,000,000 miracle. Let's be real. We all want a better life. Whether it's paying off debt, traveling more, or buying a boat and naming it Pennywise. Sometimes the key isn't out there somewhere. Sometimes it's sitting in your kitchen in a coffee can. Rummage those jars. Look twice at every penny you spend or receive. Because your life-changing treasure might already be in your hands. And if you found this video helpful, or even a little entertaining, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you never miss a tip on coins worth big money. I'm here every week dropping facts, stories, and coin strategies that just might make you the next accidental millionaire. So here's the $1,000,000 question. Actually, scratch that, the $1.6 million question. Do you have a 1980 penny with no mint mark sitting in an old jar, a drawer, or that dusty shoebox your grandma gave you? I am not joking. This one tiny coin is worth $1.6 million, and today I'm going to break it all down for you. Now you might be thinking, come on, it's just a penny, but this isn't your average heads or tails copper buddy. In fact, by the end of this video you're going to be checking your pockets, your car seats, and even your pet's hiding spots, because if you find one of these bad boys you could literally retire early or finally start that food truck business or just live your best life on a beach in Florida. So let's jump in and talk about what makes the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny a millionaire's dream. Let's rewind to 1980, the year Pac-Man hit arcades, Mount St. Helens erupted, and yes, the US Mint cranked out billions of Lincoln pennies. But here's the twist: most of those 1980 pennies were made in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Denver had the D mint mark, San Francisco had the S mint mark, but Philly didn't use a mint mark at all. So technically most 1980 no mint mark pennies came from Philly and are super common. There's a special version of the 1980 no mint mark penny that slipped through the cracks, a rare coin with a crazy die error, an incredibly sharp strike on pure copper. Instead of zinc, you heard that right, it was supposed to be copper-plated zinc but was struck on a 100% copper planchet that wasn't supposed to exist anymore. In 1982, the mint officially switched from solid copper coins to copper-plated zinc to save money, but somehow a few leftover copper planchets found their way into 1980 penny production lines. These rogue pennies are what collectors call transitional era coins, and let me tell you, coin collectors go nuts for them. Imagine printing a few dozen rare Pokemon cards with the wrong color and watching collectors fight over them at auction. That's exactly what's happening with these 1980 no mint mark copper pennies. On top of the metal error, some of these coins show doubling in the lettering and date. That's called a double die error, and if you find one with both the copper planchet and doubling features, congratulations, you've basically hit the coin lottery. Well, in 2023, a near perfect example graded MS68 by PCGS was sold in a private auction to an anonymous collector. This guy apparently collects nothing but Lincoln cents and paid over $1.5 million for this piece. Why? Because rarity, grade, historical error, and demand collided in a perfect storm, and when collectors see a storm like that, they throw down big bucks. That one sale set the tone for future valuations, and since then multiple collectors have paid six figures for similar errors in lower grades. That's right, even lower grade versions of this coin are going for $50,000 to $100,000 for how to identify one at home, 16 to 2100 hours. Now you're probably wondering, okay, cool, but how do I know if my penny is the one? First, check the weight. Use a jeweler's scale. If your 1980 no mint mark penny weighs around 3.1 grams, it could be copper. If it's 2.5 grams, it's zinc, and sadly not our golden goose. Second, look for die errors, especially doubling in the date, or in words like liberty and in God we trust. Third, check the color and shine. Copper tends to develop a rich brown tone, while zinc looks silvery and dull when exposed to air. If all that matches, your next step is to get it professionally graded, preferably by PCGS or NGC. Now let me share a funny little story. So a couple years ago, I'm visiting my cousin in Ohio, and we're cleaning out his old garage. I find this old coffee can full of pennies just sitting under a dusty workbench. I dump them out like a pirate looking for treasure, and boom, I see this unusually shiny 1980 penny with no mint mark. It felt heavier than normal. I'm not even lying, we weighed it, and it was 3.09 grams. I am already doing my happy dance thinking I hit the jackpot, sent it in for grading, and guess what? It was just a well-preserved copper penny, no error, no double die, nothing. Was I heartbroken? A little, but you know what? That moment changed my life. It kicked off my entire coin collecting journey, and now I'm the weirdo at parties who checks the change jar before ordering a pizza. Alright, let's say lightning strikes and you find the 1980 unicorn. Where do you cash in? Here's a few top places: auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, online marketplaces like Great Collections, or even eBay if you're careful and have it certified. Or you could reach out to private collectors or coin dealers, but make sure you get multiple offers before jumping in. Also, never clean the coin, you can ruin the value faster than you can say. Copper zinc alloy. If you're new to coin hunting, here are a few quick tips: invest in a decent magnifying glass and coin scale. Keep your finds organized in coin flips or holders. Join coin groups on Reddit or Facebook. There are people who will help you for free and share resources. And most of all, be patient. Not every penny will be a jackpot, but every search teaches you something new. It's kind of like fishing, but without the worms and with more profit potential. The humble 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny might be the most underestimated piece of currency in your coin jar. It could be a $1.6 million surprise just waiting to be discovered by someone who takes the time to look. Now imagine finding that coin tomorrow. What would you do? Pay off debt, travel the world, open a donut shop called Pennies Bites. The possibilities are endless, but only if you check. So before you dump your change at a Coinstar machine, check those pennies, especially those 1980s with no mint mark. You never know when fate will flip a coin in your favor. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss out on more incredible coin hunting stories. This is your friendly coin nerd signing off, reminding you keep your eyes on the pennies because the dollars will follow. Talking about a no mint mark 1966 Lincoln penny that's reportedly worth a jaw-dropping $1.70 million. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, a regular old penny? One from 1966? I've probably thrown away hundreds of those. Well, don't beat yourself up just yet. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot the valuable ones, and where you might cash in. So buckle up, grab your coin jar, and maybe even your grandma's old coin purse, because this video might just change your financial future forever. 1966. The Beatles were still together, gas was 32 cents a gallon, and the US Mint was in chaos trying to solve a coin shortage. That's where our story begins. The 1966 Lincoln penny might look like just another copper coin, but there's more than meets the eye. This was a transitional time. The US Mint had just eliminated mint marks from coins temporarily to discourage hoarding. So, even pennies minted in Denver or San Francisco bore no mint mark. That's the first interesting fact. So yes, it's totally normal that your 1966 penny doesn't have a mint mark. But hold on, not all of them are created equal. Now let's get to the juicy stuff. What exactly makes one of these pennies worth over $1 million? This $1 million 1966 penny isn't just rare, it's ultra rare. Only a handful are known to exist in mint state red with full details and perfect luster. And one specific coin made headlines when it was auctioned for $1.7 million, thanks to its unusual die error and pristine grade of MS68 plus red. The error? A slight doubling in the Liberty inscription and the date, combined with razor-sharp details and flawless surfaces. Like it came straight from the press and never touched human hands. So if you've got a 1966 penny that's shiny, bright red, with no visible wear, don't spend it. You might be holding a fortune. You want a penny that still has its original red luster. No brown, no corrosion. Think fresh off the press. Look for crisp details. If you can clearly read Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and see all the Lincoln Memorial lines on the back, you've got potential. Use a magnifying glass. Check Liberty and the date. 1966. For even the slightest doubling, that could mean a valuable die variety. Mint errors like these can multiply the value. The $1 million coin was graded by PCGS. If you think you have something special, send it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. And for real, don't try to clean it. That kills the value faster than you can say. Coin dealer. Okay, confession time. A few years ago, I was helping my grandpa clean out his garage. We found an old Folgers coffee can filled with pennies. Being the helpful grandkid I was, I lugged it straight to the Coinstar machine. There were tons of 1960s pennies in there. Probably some rare ones. Maybe even $1 million 1966 no mint mark Lincoln penny. My grandpa. He just said, "Well, at least now we have $27 in cash." Moral of the story? Never underestimate your change, and always check before you chucked out a normal 1966 penny in circulated condition. Worth 1 cent. A 1966 penny in uncirculated condition might sell for $5 to $25, maybe more. But a graded, mint state red penny with error characteristics? That's where we start climbing. $10,000, $100,000, and yes, in one rare case, $1.70 million. The rarity of the error market demand collector interest at the time, and don't forget, coin values can skyrocket overnight when collectors get excited. It's like the Bitcoin of pocket change. Don't run to the pawn shop. Take your time. Here's what to do: get it appraised by a reputable dealer. Submit it to a grading service, PCGS, NGC. Consider selling through Heritage Auctions grade collections, and always protect your coin. Store it in a 2x2 holder or coin slab. No Ziploc bags or bare pockets. Okay, over 2.2 billion 1966 pennies were minted, but only a few survive in gem condition. The Lincoln Memorial reverse design was used from 1959 to 2008, the longest running reverse in penny history. Abraham Lincoln was the first real person featured on a U.S. coin. And here's one for laughs. Some people have tried to clean their pennies with ketchup, thinking it'll make them shiny and more valuable. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. It just makes your penny smell like hot dogs. One little coin from 1966, no mint mark, hiding in plain sight, possibly worth $1.70 million. Now imagine, you go through your old piggy bank tonight and find one. Your life could literally change overnight. And even if you don't strike it rich, just think how cool it would be to pass along a valuable coin to your kids or grandkids. A legacy made of copper and luck. Before we go, here's what I want you to do. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss another chance to learn which coins could make you rich. We're dropping weekly videos on rare pennies, hidden coin errors, and how to turn your pocket change into profits. Don't miss out. This is the most fun you can have with pennies. We're talking about a 2020 D mint mark Lincoln penny that's currently valued at a whopping $1.8 million. That's right, a penny worth more than your average house and definitely more than my student loans combined. You heard that correctly, $1.8 million. And no, this isn't some coin collector fantasy, it's real, it's wild, and you might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. So grab your magnifying glass or squint real hard, because we're diving into the surprising story behind this tiny copper treasure, the 2020 D Lincoln penny that's making waves in the numismatic world. Now let me tell you a story. I was at my favorite flea market about a year ago picking through an old lady's coin jar, you know, the kind that smells like mothballs and victory, and I spot a shiny penny from 2020. It looked kinda off, like not wrong but just different. Something in my gut said hold on to it. Fast forward a few months and boom, turns out a similar coin sold at auction for over $1 million. Ever since I check my change like it's the lottery. So today we're breaking it all down. What makes this penny so special? How do you know if you've got one of your own? And how can you cash in big if you do? Stick around because you might be richer than you think. Alright, first things first, let's talk basics. The 2020 penny features the iconic Abraham Lincoln profile facing right with the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" on the front, or what we fancy folks call the obverse on the back. You've got the Union shield and that proud 1 cent banner across it. Simple, strong, symbolic. The D mint mark means this coin was minted in Denver, Colorado. Denver usually puts out high mintage pennies, meaning lots of them hit circulation. So how could a common penny minted in the millions end up worth a cool $1.8 million? The answer: error, scarcity, and demand, the holy trinity of coin value. Now this is where things get juicy. One of the reasons this 2020 D penny is so valuable is because of an ultra-rare minting error. This specific error involves something called a double die obverse, or DDO. In plain English, it means some of the lettering and details on Lincoln's face were stamped twice, just slightly off, creating a ghostly double image. You might see this on the words Liberty, or the date 2020, or even Lincoln's nose doubling like he sniffed something suspicious. But wait, it gets better. Some of these pennies were also struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the little blank metal disc was meant for a different coin like a dime, or even a foreign coin. That mix-up during minting causes weight and size discrepancies which serious collectors lose their minds over. Combine a double die with a wrong planchet, and you've basically got the holy grail of Lincoln cents. Let's say you found a 2020 D penny with a clear double die, and you're ready to party. Not so fast, my friend. Condition matters a lot. Grading is everything in the coin world. You want to find that baby in what's called MS or mint state condition, preferably MS 68 or higher. That means the coin looks as flawless as it did the second it was stamped. Not a scratch, not a smudge, not even a fingerprint. The penny that sold for $1.8 million was graded MS 69 red, which is nearly perfection. Red means the original copper color hasn't turned brown from oxidation. So yes, store your finds carefully, and please don't clean them. Soap and water might just cost you a fortune. So just how rare is this penny? Experts estimate that only a handful, maybe less than 20 of these particular era pennies exist in high mint state condition. That makes them rarer than finding someone who actually enjoys airport security. With such a low survival rate, the demand among collectors is sky high. That's why the auction prices are climbing year after year. One of these coins sold for $600,000 in early 2023, and by late 2020, for another broke records at $1.8 million. Talk about a solid return on investment. Here's your game plan. If you want to be the next coin millionaire, step 1: pull out every 2020 D penny you can find. Dig through jars, check old wallets, hit up vending machines if you must. Step 3: weigh the penny. A regular penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If your penny is way lighter or heavier, that could be a planchet error. Step 4: get it graded. Don't just rely on your eyes. Send it off to PCGS or NGC, the top 2 grading companies in the country. They'll authenticate it and slap it in a sealed case with a shiny label. Trust me, if your penny's worth over $1 million, you want that official seal of approval before you start dreaming of beach houses and Bugattis. Now, quick story, and this one still hurts. A buddy of mine found a 2020 D penny that looked pretty weird, doubling on the letters weird shine, so he was sure it was the jackpot. He didn't want to wait for grading, so he posted it online and sold it for $300, thinking he'd won. 3 months later, the new buyer had it graded MS 68 with a verified mint error and sold it at auction for nearly $400,000. Let that be a lesson. Don't rush, don't guess, and for the love of Lincoln, don't sell rare coins on impulse. You might be giving away your dream retirement home if you think you've got the $1.8 million penny. Here's where to go. Don't list it on Facebook Marketplace. That's how you end up getting paid in Chick-fil-A gift cards. Instead, go through reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. They specialize in high value coins, and they'll help you reach serious buyers who aren't just offering you gas money. Or you can use certified coin dealers who are members of the ANA, the American Numismatic Association. Make sure you're dealing with legit folks, not some guy with a sketchy username and blurry profile pic. So let's wrap this up. You now know that the 2020 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny can be worth up to $1.8 million if it has the right combination of mint era rarity and condition. It's not just about age anymore, folks. Coins minted just a few years ago can hold staggering value, and you might already have one lying around in your house, jacket, pocket, glove box, or kid's piggy bank. And look, I know coin collecting might sound like something your grandpa did in his garage, but the truth is it's one of the smartest hobbies you can pick up today, because let's be real, what other hobby lets you profit from pennies? If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of the game. You've got the knowledge, you've got the tools. Now it's just a matter of finding the right penny. So next time you get change at the store, pause and check those coins, because who knows, that penny might just be the key to your new life of early retirement, beach living, and coin collector legend status. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We've got more hidden coin stories coming up, and you don't want to miss the next one. It might just be the coin sitting in your pocket right now.